Yes, people. Okay, right now we're taking a look at this Money article. Sorry, this is Money. So O2 have hiked prices mid-contract for over 15 million mobile customers. So let's see what's going on here. Because it says that customers will see their monthly bills rise by 40%, pretty much more than they were initially told. So it says here that 15.6 million O2 mobile phone customers, they're going to see that their bills are going to rise. The phone network has announced a new mid-contract policy change. It's going to hike their airtime costs by £2.50 a month for all customers instead of £1.80 starting in 2026. So that's a difference of about 70p or so coming into next year in the new year. So it says here from 1st of April 2026, um, spring 2026 rather than New Year, but customers will see their monthly bills rise by more than they were told when they signed up for their contracts. Now, bills will rise by 30 quid a year or 40% from the £21.60 annual increase previously written into their contracts. Now, a lot of these kind of phone companies and internet companies, every year their bills, the amount they charge customers goes up. Normally it's related to inflation, so every April around springtime they increase the bill. Previously I was paying for one of these mobile phone contracts, and um, it was annual one, so every year they'd put up my bill by a certain amount. Normally it was matching inflation as such. um, but then I came to realize that a pay as you go sim was much cheaper, and I was getting a similar kind of service and offerings in terms of like 3 minutes, free text, that kind of stuff, and data, certain amount of data as well. So you do really have to shop around. So let's see here. The change adds basically a huge increase proportionally for customers on cheaper deals, according to a price comparison website Uswitch. For example, on O2's £8.50 SIM only 12-month contract with 50 gig data, unlimited calls and texts, this represents a staggering 29% increase in their annual bill. Parent company Virgin Media O2 said the price hike represents excellent value for services. Right. Well, that's according to them. They're the business. Obviously, what do customers think? Some of you may or may not be aware, but recently Virgin Media and O2 came together to set up this company called Virgin Media O2. Now, again, a lot of people, we are living in a financial crisis at the moment. Just a few days ago, there was a speech by the Chancellor in regards to talking about the economy and so on. And there are discussions, debates, analysis, and commentary taking place saying that there could be an increase on taxes coming into the basically budget at the end of the month. So, a lot of people are already suffering with high energy prices, food, the cost of living, food inflation, water bill charges, that kind of stuff. So bills costs are high, whereas wages are not growing as fast, and the jobs market is not, buoyant as it once was. There's less jobs, more unemployment. So that obviously then creates more pressure on household finances. So it says here it comes after weeks, basically a few weeks of Virgin Media raised broadband prices, while EE and BT also hiked prices mid-contract in July. Telecoms regulator Ofcom announced rules in January to force mobile providers to show customers exactly how much their bill will increase by each year in pounds and pence before they sign up to a contract. Well, they should be doing that anyway, really, as part of being transparent, being open and honest. We'd expect that from a company or a business to do that. The customer should know what they're getting into before they actually buy something. Now, these rules were intended to make it clear for customers how much they're going to pay over the full duration and put a stop to mid contract price hikes. So, the unexpected price hike means that O2 customers who are subject to the rise now have the right to leave the contract penalty free. Well, of course, that is useful because then if they don't have to pay any penalties and they can exit the contract, that's good. And then they can just go and find another service provider who gives them a better deal, better offers to help them navigate this. But to be honest with you, a lot of people are fed up with these type of companies and other, tech operators that provide services what people need. Obviously, having a mobile phone these days is pretty much something that every person, has a more or less smartphone or some sort of phone, which they use to, for business purposes, for personal purposes, contacting family, friends, texting, calling, doing WhatsApp calls, that kind of stuff, and having internet broadband. There are still some people that don't have it, obviously, where there's issues of poverty and deprivation, even in the UK. But by and far large, there are many people, or majority of people, who do have broadband or internet at home, or they can access it at the local library, or maybe they can access it at work and so on. So internet now is available to many people in places like the UK, and broadband is something that, again, it's imperative. People need it for entertainment, business, working purposes, and so on. So it's become a staple for every household. So it's pretty much ideal that there should be good prices for customers to be able to afford and so on. Whereas business can make some profit as well, but not shouldn't be extortionate, and it shouldn't, you know, it'd be like sudden price increases without understanding or knowing what you're paying and so on. There should be open and full transparency from all these tech companies at all times. What do you think about O2's rise in terms of their prices and so on, and some of these other companies, technology companies, tech companies out there? Do let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Catch you in the next one.